Hello, welcome to part 85 of this Airbnb clone Ruby on Rails series. And in last video, we finished the amenities, backend and front end, all those things. Now in this video, we'll focus on images part. So I was creating this video earlier, but actually it became really hard to manage removing the images and adding the images simultaneously. So what I will do is, in this part, I will focus on removing the images first. So, and I want images at the top. So what I will do is, let's go to code. Okay. We are in our app views owner properties edit file, and we'll create a div. So I'll create a separate form for removing the images and another separate form later on for adding the images. We can merge these things, but it was becoming really complicated. So right now I'm deciding we'll do it separately, and if we find that it was easy enough to understand, then again it becomes easy to merge it. So yeah, let's start from scratch in this case. So I'm copying this. I'll have to get rid of property images, get rid of all the things. Wait, let's get rid of almost all the things, not all, just to see the UI. Okay, it is working. So now first we will have to show all the images, right? So for that, what we will have to do is, I don't want to implement form in this. So first we should start by showing the properties at the rate property dot images do image okay, and in that we'll use a div slash div. Let's add UI part later. Percent image tag and use this image. So let's focus on showing the image first. Let's get rid of this form, and we'll have to add this, right? Why is it not visible? Let's go to property item. Okay, dot each. Yeah, so all the images are visible and they are not consistent. So what, and we can use a gem or a JavaScript library for cropping the images. I think there should be something called as cropper.js or something. But right now I won't introduce this in this project. We will introduce this in some another project. So right now I'll have to do some hard coding here. Class the 40 by height 40. No. Okay, and we'll have to change the orientation also. So we'll have to define div class grid calls for gap 3. Let's try this, shift this. So basically right now I'm just working on the UI part, then we'll add some button and all those things. Looks fine, not the best, but fine. Maybe increase this to 5 for now. No. Okay, looks fine to me, but gap is not consistent and all. Never mind, we'll deal with that later. So we have this image. Now what I can do is, I can introduce a button button or link to. Let's do one thing. Before doing that, I'll have to set, so my thought process is that I will set up a delete icon at top right corner of this, and once we click on it, it should remove this property. That's how the API call should work. So what I will do is I'll set up the backend part first for that. So we'll have to go to routes. Right now I'll do it very straightforward. I will add a delete and remove image singular, because at a time we will be removing only one image. Now we will go to controller, owner properties controller, and in that I'll copy this, paste it, add arrays, write our action name, remove image, we will have to fix this later on, but yeah, for now it's fine. Remove image, and I want to set property for this also. So what I am thinking is, if I'm able to send the image ID to our remove image, we can delete it. So delete API call from button in Rails. Let's see, button 2, no, not this one. Delete action. Nope. Button to delete, then the API call and this. Let's try this. Okay, button 2. For now I'll write remove. Later on we will try to change it to icon, and instead of this we'll have to mention the path. So how can we find the path? Rails routes -c owner / properties, and we have these actions. I want this delete action. Okay, this remove image. This delete or destroy action is for removing the entire property. We don't want to do that in here right now. Actually we will have to add a UI for that also. Nice. For now let's focus on this underscore path, and in this what I want to pass is image ID, and for that I can use this image dot ID. Dot ID will work or not? Let's try this. Refresh. Remove buttons are at bottom, so for now what I can do is make it relative, and in this class let's make it absolute, so the top can be 1 and the right can be 1. Yeah, so you can see this button. Let's click on this. Remember we are okay, let's remove this repetition. These are two same images, right? So let's try to click on this. Now let's see what are the params, and in params we have the correct API call, and we have the image ID 16, and this is the property ID that we have here in our path. So let's try to fetch this params ID 16. Okay, let's try to use this. Remove image, let's try to find the image first. So for that we can use our property instance. It has all the images, and in that let's find params image underscore id. It's image underscore id, right? So this should return the image, and now we can use image.destroy. Yes, if it is successful, we'll write image removed successfully, failed to remove image. For now it might look like we are doing a lot of repetition, but you can know, like, updating these things is not something really hard. You can just Google search or search it on ChatGPT and it can work easily. Understanding the functionality is important, and later on we will update all these things. For example, we could have created a separate controller also, where we can manage all the image related manipulations only, but right now I'm keeping it straightforward and simple. Let's refresh, reduce the size. Now click on this, should remove it. Actually I won't click on it right now. What I'll do is I'll add a race, because if it gets removed then we don't have a functionality of adding the image and it will become a bit problematic. So what I will do is, let's click remove and write image here. Because we have written raise here, that means everything above this image we can access. So raise is a variable, we can use it. And we have found the image with blob ID 13. Blob ID and ID are same. Okay, so now, and I'm assuming this should work. Even if it will fail here, we know, so we don't have to worry about that. So right now what I can focus on is updating this thing. So I'm just trying out few things, if it will work or not. Can we convert it to link to? In that we can mention this link, do ampersand and in this I want to add the SVG. So let's go to hero icons. Yeah, hero icons, and in that delete. This is the closest one, because it looks like close. I want to actually make this bin. Okay, we have this, but it is not looking perfect. Tailwind. Rounded large should work. So we can add a class here, or should it be with this? Let's add it here. Rounded large back bg white. Okay, it's not working. ROUND. Looks like it is working, but not perfectly. So what we can do is, it is 24. So anything we can do to improve this? Padding 1. Okay, it will be too much. Opacity. Let's add some opacity of 50. Looks fine. Rounded LG is something that I'm not convinced with. Something like rounded 2XL or 3XL. Yeah, now it looks a bit better. So if we click on it, it should work. I'll do one more change. I'm just experimenting this. It's not a big deal. Red or maybe primary. No, doesn't look good. Red 200. I think white is fine. Yeah. So now let's try this if it will work or not. The images are not looking good, so we should try one thing. Object cover. Yeah, it's fine. Now let's try to remove this image. Okay, it did not work. Great. I think that's because of link to. /edit. Yeah, I think with link to method doesn't work. This delete method doesn't work. So let's try this again. Okay, what's the issue? Method destroy this attachment 13 this. Okay, we cannot use. Okay, for destroy we will have to use, because it is not a query, it is something very critical, so we'll have to use a bang operator here. Now let's refresh again, and it worked. We have 5 images now. So yeah, that was the main thing here. We have removed it from this one. What I'll do is I'll remove it from this one also, repetition. So that it's clear. Okay, so now in next video what we'll do is, below this we will add options for adding the image also. Or let me check. Yeah, in next video we'll do that. I'll just make one UI change, which is empty 2, margin top 2, and refresh. The UI on smaller screens can look bad, so for that you can optimize on this. I'm not too worried about this. Maybe try grid calls 2, SM grid calls 3, MD grid calls 4, and finally on large grid column 5. Refresh. Okay, directly 3. Why? What is for medium? Breakpoint. MD. I have used MD. Okay, dash. Refresh. Looks really bad. So let's make it something like this. 4, 3, 2, 1. It is still bad, but you can work on it. Yeah, you can work on it. That's it for now. In next video we will add option for adding images, and then we will have to add option for destroying the property also. So thanks a lot. Do consider liking this video, and do subscribe to these videos and share it with your friends. Thank you. Bye.